Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Quantum Blade Gaming. Today we're going to do a little more live play with Minecraft. Okay, so last time we were finding that this remote thermal monitor took way too much power. I want to try powering it with a small battery and see how quickly it drains that, because I'm wondering if it's a percentage of available power or if it's just glitched for high capacity wires or if that's really functioning as intended. I seriously hope it's not functioning as intended, because that is would be really bad. Insulated tin, redstone. Hey, Covert. How's it going? Let's see, I need 4 of those. Need 1 of that, and I need redstone. Haha, battery. And I will charge up said battery. Awesome. Glad to see you able to catch the stream. Okay, so that's draining faster than I would like it to, but I think it's still a lot slower than connecting it directly to the, yeah, that's not going to last long. So maybe it really just does take that much power. Nice, nice. It's always good feeling when the classes are finally over. Okay, so this holds 10k, this holds 100k. So what does it take to build one of these? Lead, sulfur, bronze. Ugh. So this thing right here is a thermal monitor that I was setting up to shut down my reactor in the event that it got too hot. But I had it being powered off of this MFSU, and I found that it was actually drawing a lot of power. I didn't think it should draw that much. But, so I was hoping that it was just a bug in the program, but it looks like it may actually require that amount of power. See, the only upgrades for it is the web upgrade, range, and color. Well, these aren't quite depleted yet. Unfortunately, this is not set up in a fail-safe manner. It's if it runs out of power, even though it's out of power, it will continue to power this transmitter, which will continue to keep the reactor going. No, I've not done a whole lot with Python. I've done a little bit here and there, but I haven't done a whole lot with Python. Oops, we lost a thick neutron reflector. I need to make some more of those too. The other thing is that this nuclear control mechanism will monitor the heat of the reactor, but not of the components inside it, which means if these heat vents get too hot, they'll melt and disappear. So it's not a perfect solution. That and that RE battery just keeps draining way too fast. Clusters, huh? I'm not sure I've heard of clusters. Oh, I didn't teach it how to make neutron reflectors. Oh, I didn't get the cable I was going for either. Okay. Oh, that's funny. It's still pulling power from the battery even though it's got a cable. See, when that's plugged in, it just barely generates, barely breaks even. So that means it's consuming about... Oh, well, these are depleted now. It's probably consuming about 40 EU a tick or so. Okay. Get my hazard suit on here so I can pull the rods out of the reactor. Run them through the thermal centrifuge, which will take a while to heat up. And meanwhile, I need more casings. Do I have more casings upstairs? I think I did. 2, yes. Let's see. No, I need this, the enriched fuel, which means I need tiny piles, which I don't have, which means I need to process more uranium ore. Great. That's not making tiny pieces. Okay, I need to put the purified version through the thermal centrifuge. That's the deal. Oh, that still hasn't heated up. Heat faster! Almost there. Finally. Did I not get that purified ore? Thought I had. I guess I didn't. Yay, tiny piles. That's what I needed. machine is too far down the line. It's losing power. Oh, this machine's out of power. Why are you out of power? I think it just can't deliver as much power as those machines need. Thermal centrifuge can take 128 max, which is medium volt, I think. Let's consume even more power while we're low on power. Brilliant! Need another fuel rod. Go ahead and make 5. Plates, and then we extrude them. Ah, the system grabbed one of them. Excellent. That's 4 more pieces of fuel and 4 remaining empty rods to put them in. Oh, power issues, power issues. You know, maybe I should just build a whole big bank of these windmills. This one windmill has, like, done really well for me. Hardly ever even takes any durability damage where it's at. There we go. That should free up some power in the system, which should allow this to maybe eventually start working again. Why are those not acting like the same thing? Uranium 235, 4204, 235, 4204. Oh, that's weird, and now they'll combine. That's really weird. Ah. That's weird. So you have 3 more pieces of fuel already made, so let's make 3 more rods for it. Extrude. Can it? Because yes, it's always a good idea to run your uranium processing through the same canning machine that you can food in. Those are the same thing. Now they combine. That is so buggy. Okay, this is all purified, which means it's ready to go through the thermal centrifuge, which means it's going to run out of power again. And it's cold again. Great. You know what? This is enough power for now. I need to actually get some transformers set up and actually just power it off of the reactor. Now the question becomes, how many of these rods do we want to actually put in there? Oh, and the other question becomes, what's it going to take to make the reflectors to go around them? Because it's a real waste to put the fuel rods in there without neutron reflectors to reflect back the neutron pulses. It's tin, coal, and copper. Not exactly sure how many of these neutron plates that I need to make because I'm not sure how many rods I'm going to put in at one time. Oh, did that not start? There we go. Okay, let me see. Four of those and 4 copper plates. I do have a couple of blank patterns left. Encode that. Code that. Unfortunately, I don't think I have any spare slots in my automated crafting thing. Oh, actually, I do. Sweet. Okay. Let's see, craft me at least, 9 more. Oh, it doesn't know how to make tin and coal dust. Oh, sigh. I really need to expand my whole ME system. I think I may just make a quad fuel cell and just go with 4 thick reflectors. Oh, you have to actually have stuff to put them together. Iron and copper plates. What did I do with my containment box? Must have left it upstairs. Yep. And this block is really cool if it's not completely covered with stuff, because it actually shows you what it's crafting. Okay, that is... Oh, that's heating up fast. $140 EU a tick when it runs. Oh, those are just regular heat vents, not reactor heat vents. Okay, so might not have been the best idea to make a quad rod. Hey, Sheer. Yeah, trying to do nuclear power. It's having issues. Like, the nuclear control thermal monitor is working, but it's pulling so much power that I'm like not really generating anything. I don't think this monitor is supposed to be pulling that much power. Does it not? It seemed like it was actually cooling the reactor down faster when it was off with the water there than without, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm trying to keep the mods separate. Yeah, if I really was going for maximum power output, I would do what you did with the big reactor with the jellied cryothium. The other annoying thing is that Tesseracts don't work with EU. Sad panda. I think they're viable. They're just not nearly as easy as they're not nearly as easy as RF mods right now. Nuclear and IC2 is never really easy, but it's gotten harder. I blame Greg Tech. Yeah, that was the idea. That actually is a carpenter's door, but I don't have the only clear glass that's whitelisted for it is the Tinker's Construct glass. So I just gotta edit config file. And I may actually replace all this thickened glass. We ran some nuclear explosion tests in my last video, and the Ender IO glass, fused quartz I think it's called, is actually really pretty blast resistant. It's not bad. It is expensive, yes, but I haven't even gotten into MOX fuel yet, and that doubles or more the output. Plus, there's the what are those things called? Yeah, I can make coolant cells, but the deal with coolant cells is coolant cells extend the amount of time that it can stay on, but then you have to have a longer cooldown cycle. They're basically capacitors. Yeah, there's 100K coolant cells in here. This thing, the RTG generator, you get kind of as a byproduct of doing nuclear, and it's infinite. Like, it's not a lot of power. Does it show what it goes in? No, it just shows... What's the name of that reactor? Why are you suddenly cool? What just happened over here? Why are you suddenly cool? Oh, because the reflectors wore out. And you're only producing 60 EU a tick. That's why. Yeah, so now I'm doing 40 EU a tick, but I'm generating so much heat it doesn't stay on long. So yeah, the coolant cells would let me stay on longer at a run, but then you'd have to cool down longer too. Put the cell and the reflectors in the middle. Well, these reactor heat vents pull heat from the reactor casing and vent it to the outside world. The ones that you're talking about, the heat exchangers, I believe those just shift heat around between components inside the thing, which I don't know if that's actually going to help much. I think I only have 2 actual heat exchangers in here. These are just regular heat vents, which I forget now what the difference between heat vent and reactor heat vent is. Those are going to melt pretty quickly. There are upgraded versions, though. Let's see, heat exchanger. The reactor heat exchanger, I believe, does to and from the reactor casing. Component, advanced. Advanced, I think, does both. The component heat exchanger, I think, only shifts heat between the components, not to the casing. I need to look it up again. Like with this many reactor heat vents, it was steady state for 2 single fuel rods surrounded by reflectors. But yeah, that's a lot of heat vents for just 2 rods. There is a whole boiler system, containment vessel boiler system, but it honestly isn't really worth it. For starters, you have to get distilled water so that your turbines don't calcify, and then you have to build this whole containment vessel around the thing, and it's basically a lower temperature alternative to MOX fuel, which, because I have nuclear control to help control the temperature, it's probably easier and better to just go with MOX fuel. Now these are interesting. They're basically one-time use. I think you can recharge them, but it takes more lapis. They're kind of like coolant packs, but they're one-time use. So what I probably really want is the advanced one. That takes 2 regulars, copper, lapis. Ugh. Oh, these are actually reactor heat exchangers. Like, I have a lot of the components for that steam casing thing. I tried to do that, and it's just all the blocks you have to use to turn the steam into kinetic energy and then turn it back into power. It just really wasn't worth it. Component heat vent. Could put some of those in there, but I'm not sure that that really is going to do anything for reactor heat vents. Because the reactor heat vents, I believe, are already venting the heat from the reactor casing, so... Honestly, I was mentioning that earlier in the video today. I'm like, you know, I could, yeah, I could just make a bunch of windmills and probably have more power than I'm getting out of this this reactor, at least right now. So see, this component heat vent is not picking up any heat because it doesn't have any. You need the component heat exchangers for that, or an advanced. So the heat exchangers I've got are turn off my sword. The heat exchangers I've got are reactor heat exchangers, so they're not going to do anything to this component heat vent. So the reactor heat exchangers do things like let you put one of those and then put a coolant cell next to it so that it actually draws heat away from the reactor casing and puts it into, you know, puts it against the coolant cell. Since I'm not using coolant cells, those don't really help much. So we've got heat vent, we've got the reactor heat vent, which is what my reactor's full of right now. We've got the overclocked heat vent, component heat vent, and advanced. So again, I think the advanced does both component and the reactor whole. But that's the thing, the coolant cells don't really get you stable, they just get you to run longer, which arguably is a good thing, but it means if you have enough coolant cells and enough components to shift the heat around, then you maybe can get a system where you can run it for a full cycle of the fuel cells, but then you have to have a cool down cycle where everything cools back down. You know, it's not stable is what I'm trying to say. Coolant cells don't get you stable, they just get you running longer. Which at this point, I guess running longer is really the only way to go, because I could fill this thing completely full of reactor heat vents and probably still not be stable. I don't remember what the basic heat vents do. I think they may basically be... No, they're not component heat vents, because that's a component heat vent. I don't remember the difference between the reactor heat vent and just the heat vent. Yeah, you can swap out coolant cells when they burn out if you let them burn out, but I'd rather let them cool down because the coolant is such a pain to make. I really don't remember the difference between the heat vent and the reactor heat vent. Because there already is a component heat vent. This thing just pulls way too much power. Stupid, stupid, stupid. This thing really has a lot of stupid things, like, you know, this location card and even the range upgrade. If you break this block, it destroys those upgrades. It doesn't drop them. And it does not fail safe, so if you run out of power on this block, it will still power this transmitter. I'm sorely tempted to make a mod that's something like a Tesseract, but for EU. And so far, the only way I've been able to find to transfer EU wirelessly is either by charging items and sending them through, or converting it to RF, which is... there really should be a way to transport EU better than that. Let's see, what was I going to do? I was going to see about making a coolant cell. That's what I was going to do. So yeah, there's a 60K coolant cell, which is ridiculously hard to make. I like that idea, although then on servers that have the Tesla coil banned, you wouldn't be able to make it either. I suppose I could have alternate recipes. Let's see. Have all of 2 empty cells, which isn't going to get me very far. Let's see. 10. And go ahead and craft me up another 3. Which, I didn't start that, did I? Whoops. Oh, a different block that's just named Tesla coil? Coolant, that's what I'm looking for. That makes sense. It would actually be pretty cool to have something that looks like the, oh, what was that place called? Wycliffe Tower? That would be amazing. Have one of those on either end. Not as convenient as a Tesseract single block dealy, but What about IC2 is more convenient than anything RF? What's 4 times 4? 16? Am I seriously out of 10? Distance loss? I don't know about distance loss. I mean, maybe a flat penalty like the Tesseracts have. Oh, I never taught it how to make the ingots, did I? No, I didn't. Doggone it. Oh no. System is full. Sigh. What? Really? Yeah, I really need more drives, badly. Oh, come on. Running out of room here, folks. Well, fine. You know what? Give me the plates. You can have the cactus back. I'll go make it in a regular crafting table. Except I don't think these things stack, which is going to be a problem. Whee! Okay. That's 10K, then I need a 30K, and then it's got more tin plates. Wonderful. Won't even take the Blizz powder back. Nor evidently will it craft the... That's just great. Do I have everything I need to make one of those? No crafting CPUs are available. Great. How do I cancel a craft? Can I cancel a craft? Did it craft? No, it didn't craft. No crafting CPUs are available. It's got to be stuck trying to craft that. There we go. Cancel. I don't know that I have enough room to even craft all of these things. Nope. Great. Just great. Fine, you got a chest, just a regular old chest? Can you craft me a regular old chest? No. That's frustrating. Fine. Just, you know, hold some random stuff. Don't package it. See, we'll take that, we'll take that, we'll take that, we'll take that, we'll take that. Take that. That. And, that. That. Ha. Of course you're missing one of those. Let's see. Which thing was it that I needed? Need a logic processor. Yeah, I need to upgrade, I know. Printed logic circuit. Oh, that's right. I have to put those actually in the thing to be pressed. There, that's a lot more storage than I had. Okay. Yay, 130K. Ugh. I may have to wait on the 60K. As I thought, without component heat exchangers, that coolant cell just sits there and does nothing. So I probably need one of those and one of those. So one of these to pull heat actually away from the reactor wall, and then a component to shift it into there. Yep. Interesting that the component heat vent is not actually taking any durability damage. Yeah, I still need to upgrade those. Let's see. Heat exchangers. No, wait, that wasn't a heat exchanger, was it? Heat vent. Vent and exchanger in this thing are just so confusing because like, I'm not sure this coolant cell is actually doing anything in this configuration. Alrighty, man. Take it easy. Thanks for stopping by. guess I should just go ahead and make advanced heat exchangers for everything. So they should do both. That's a lot more plates, though. That should not be steady state. It just shouldn't. Alright, let's see what, if any, of the heat exchanger patterns are in the system. Not a one. Great. Tin, copper, and a circuit. I need 2 of these, so I need 10 copper plates. And I need 6 tin plates. And I need 2 circuits. Ah, no. Didn't mean to do that. There. Alright. Now I need copper lapis. Lapis, I need to compress lapis dust. I need how many of those? 4? 2 circuits and a copper plate. Okay. You're not going to be able to make this because you can't make the cable. And you don't have enough rubber. Great. Is it 1 circuit I need? 1 circuit, yes. Would help if I actually put that in the system. Circuit. Two of those, 4 of those. Gimme copper plate. I needed 2 circuits. Great. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, advanced heat exchanger. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, let's see what this thing does. Yeah, that's beginning to put some wear on the coolant cell. Okay, so I probably really should make a second one of those, even though they're a pain to make. Which means, among other things, I need to compress the other 4 dust I've got. Oh no, out of 10 ingots again. Well, at least this time I have the stuff to make more ingots. Only having one crafting CPU is kind of a pain too. Aha, much easier to make the second time. Let's see how much, if any, gold cable we have laying around. Yeah, let's try that. Only got 4. Mm-hmm. That's much better. Much better. I bet I can even transform it down to LV and still have this monitor powered. Coil, insulated tin cable. Welcome back. So while you were gone, I put a MV transformer, or sorry, an HV transformer in line here and used gold cable up to this, and it is consuming far less power. Like the reactor is still cycling on and off, but I'm actually gaining power in the MFSU now, and I almost wasn't before. So next I think I'm going to actually build a LV transformer and put it in line and see if it reduces its power draw even more. Craft a coil, that's easy. Let's see, insulated tin cables, which of course I haven't taught the system how to make. Extruder. Rubber. Craft those. I'm kind of setting up to power stuff that I don't really have going yet. Like all of these machines right now are being powered off of that windmill. What I want to do eventually is get into UU matter. There's a block in here, a thing that you can do that makes the UU matter, and then you can craft that UU matter. Or actually, I think you have to have a machine now. You scan the original of something, and you can basically make duplicates. So all of that basically to get iridium, and iridium then to make things like the quantum armor, and the Vajra, and some of the other things that are high-end, real high-tier IC2 stuff. I did not finish making the LV transformer. And also partially I want to get the reactor stable and outputting a lot of power because I want to move my AE network, the primary part of the AE network, so pretty much all of this stuff over here, into the tower. And in order to do that, to have it wirelessly connect, I have to have quantum tunnels. And to have the quantum tunnels takes a lot of power. So there's a lot of stuff I keep saying, oh, I haven't taught the system how to make this or that. And part of that has to do with not enough room, not enough power, not enough components in the AE system. See, coil in the middle. Insulated to... Oh. Put it in the system instead of getting the one I wanted. Coil, planks, there we go. See, did I put all that tin cable in there? I did. Need some of those back. Well, this server actually isn't public anymore. It's just on my local machine. I can certainly tell you what mods are in the pack, but wow. My reactor exploded. Because I cut power to the monitor and it didn't fail safe, it failed badly. Oh man, oh man. Well, I'm glad it actually was as contained as it was. I really thought that if that thing went up, it was going to take out this whole pod, which would have meant all my IC2 machines and my ME network. But, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Sheesh. No, I don't think reload. I think just take my lumps and I may get away from IC2 for a while. In the meantime, I need somewhere to put all this stuff. Wow, I don't want to believe that. Lost so many components too. Sheesh. Well, that's what I get for trusting that stupid thermal monitor. Lost all my distilled water. Wow. Lost my MFSU that had a bunch of power in it. And I'm glad it didn't touch most of this stuff down here. Oh. Wow. I should have known better than to leave that reactor running when I was messing with the monitor. I mean, that's just all that is. I wonder if I've got any pieces blown out down this way. Well, on the bright side, I had thought about possibly rebuilding this pod because it is such an eyesore with the red and blue, and so now that it's half destroyed, I might go ahead and change it. I don't know. Not sure what I would change it to. Man. Well, you know, I think I may get into Ender.io next. Come back to IC2 later. Leave this poor little pod fragmented for now. Combination of Ender.io and thermal expansion, get a big reactor. Big reactor, not a IC2 reactor. The big reactors, at least when they melt down, they don't destroy blocks. They just destroy themselves. And they produce a ton of power. Yeah, so I think that's what I'm going to do next. But for now, after this, I think I need a break for a little bit. So I will probably be back on here in a little bit. But, yeah, for now, go ahead and do my outro. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to follow if you're on Twitch or subscribe if you're on YouTube, and watch me blow other things up. You never know. Yeah, there is that. There's not nearly as much incentive, I guess, with the big reactors to make sure that it doesn't melt down, because obviously you see the damage this one did with just one quad-core fuel rod in there. But anyway, take care, and I will see you guys again probably a little later this afternoon.